For months, the world has been asking one quiet but unsettling question. Where is Prince Louis? The boy who once stole the spotlight at the Platinum Jubilee. The child whose playful expressions melted millions. The youngest royal who brought humanity to history. Has suddenly disappeared from public life. No balcony waves. No surprise appearances. No cheerful moments during major royal events. And in a year already shaken by King Charles' health battle and Princess Catherine stepping away from public duties, his silence feels different. Is this simply privacy? Or is something deeper happening behind palace walls? The youngest member of the British royal family, Prince Louis, has never been a stranger to the camera's gaze. From his mischievous waves during the Platinum Jubilee to his playful expressions at balcony appearances, he has often been the unexpected highlight of historic occasions. His energy, innocence, and unfiltered reactions have charmed millions, reminding the world that behind the titles and traditions, there are still children growing up in extraordinary circumstances. Yet in recent months, something has shifted. Royal watchers across the United Kingdom and far beyond have noticed his reduced presence at official engagements. Public appearances have grown fewer, photographs have become rare. The family's approach toward their youngest son has appeared more guarded, more deliberate, more private than ever before. The timing has not gone unnoticed. Britain has endured an extraordinary year. King Charles faced significant health challenges requiring careful management and treatment. Princess Catherine temporarily stepped back from public duties for medical reasons of her own. Amid these developments, the fourth in line to the throne has remained largely out of sight. Royal analysts, along with respected outlets such as the BBC and Reuters, have long observed that when minor royals are shielded from public view, it is typically a protective measure, particularly during periods of transition or illness within the family. Safeguarding a child's well-being has historically taken precedence over public visibility. Still, the questions linger. How is the youngest prince processing these historic changes within his family? What does daily life look like behind palace walls for a child born into privilege, expectation, and relentless public interest? And how does a young boy reconcile playground innocence with global headlines? For weeks, the public watched attentively, examining every official update, every statement, every carefully released photograph. While no formal details regarding Prince Louis's private life were initially disclosed, the absence itself spoke volumes to those who follow the monarchy closely. Before we continue, if you value carefully verified updates and thoughtful coverage drawn from official sources and established reporting, make sure you stay connected. This channel focuses on fact-based insights and responsible analysis, ensuring you never miss important developments. Historically, royal children have been protected from excessive scrutiny, especially during periods of family strain. Royal historians emphasize that this long-standing practice exists to provide as normal a childhood as possible within the extraordinary environment of royal life. While Buckingham Palace may represent tradition, duty, and ceremony, it is also a home, one where children must be allowed to grow, stumble, and mature away from harsh judgment. Born in April 2018, Prince Louis is fourth in line to the throne. From an early age, his spirited personality captured public affection. Whether covering his ears during ceremonial flyovers or pulling animated faces at formal events, he brought warmth and relatability to occasions steeped in protocol. But over the past year, official engagements involving Louis have been noticeably limited. Buckingham Palace has chosen stability and privacy over exposure. Royal correspondents confirm that such measures are consistent with protocol during sensitive periods. When health challenges affect senior members of the family, children are often shielded from heightened public attention. Behind the scenes, life has continued in structured routine. Prince Louis remains enrolled in school, following a standard curriculum appropriate for his age. No official statements have indicated health or behavioral concerns. The palace's discretion aligns with established precedent. Minor royals are not subjects of detailed public briefings. Yet public curiosity is inevitable. Households across the country discuss every appearance, every absence. The interest is not rooted in scandal but affection. Prince Louis is not merely a distant figure in the line of succession, he is a child the public has watched grow from infancy. Observers agree that this chapter is not defined by controversy, it is defined by protection. As cameras remain stationed outside palace gates and commentators analyze each development, one fact remains clear: safeguarding the emotional and psychological well-being of a child has become the overriding priority. Still, beneath the surface of official silence, a more personal story was unfolding. The turning point, according to sources close to the household, came quietly, during what should have been an ordinary school day. At Lambrook School, amid routine classroom activity, a simple question from a classmate pierced deeper than anyone could have anticipated. "Is your mum still sick?" The words were innocent, but for a young boy already absorbing the emotional weight of global headlines and whispered conversations, they struck with unexpected force. Witnesses later described Louis as uncharacteristically withdrawn. By the time he returned home that afternoon, his usual spark had dimmed, dinner went largely untouched, laughter was absent. The following morning, he resisted returning to school. What might appear minor to outsiders was deeply significant within the family. Prince William and Princess Catherine convened privately with trusted household advisors. The conclusion was unanimous. Louis's emotional well-being required immediate attention. Public appearances would be paused. School attendance would be temporarily reconsidered. Stability would come before optics. No public announcement was made at that stage. Lambrook School was discreetly informed. Confidentiality was maintained out of respect for the child. However, royal watchers quickly noticed his absence, not only from school-related events but from small family engagements and charitable appearances. Speculation intensified. Was he struggling emotionally? Was the broader strain within the family affecting him more profoundly than anticipated? Inside Adelaide Cottage, adjustments were made swiftly. A temporary homeschooling arrangement was implemented, guided by educational staff and supported by child development professionals. The focus was not performance or public composure, it was reassurance, structure, safety. This approach marked a subtle yet significant evolution in royal parenting, prioritizing emotional health with a transparency rarely seen in previous generations. Princess Catherine, still navigating her own recovery, devoted extended time to her youngest son. She read with him, walked with him, listened without interruption. Her presence became a quiet anchor in a year marked by uncertainty. A comprehensive recovery plan was developed. It included structured daily routines, age-appropriate academic activities, outdoor time, and ongoing support from child psychologists. The objective was simple yet profound: allow a child to process change without the burden of performance. Then an unexpected yet deeply reassuring figure stepped forward, Princess Anne. Known for her discipline, pragmatism, and unwavering sense of duty, the Princess Royal offered something uniquely valuable: grounded perspective. In private discussions with Prince William, she suggested a temporary retreat from the pressures surrounding Windsor. "Send him to me," she reportedly advised. "Let him work with his hands, let him listen to the wind instead of the whispers." Arrangements were quietly made. At her countryside estate, far removed from flashing cameras and speculative headlines, Louis encountered a new rhythm of life. Mornings began not with briefings but with simple tasks: tending gardens, feeding animals, walking open fields. Princess Anne shared stories from her own childhood, stories of scraped knees, rural adventures, and lessons learned far from ceremonial halls. Gradually, something shifted. He smiled more easily, he laughed again. The heaviness that had shadowed him began to lift. Horseback riding became central, not as a royal performance, but as a lesson in trust and self-assurance. Under Anne's steady guidance, Louis developed confidence not only in the saddle but within himself. Behind palace walls, this intervention was quietly recognized as a model for modern royal child care, combining discretion, professional support, and hands-on family involvement. Yet just as equilibrium returned, new tensions surfaced. A confidential internal memo reportedly drafted by senior aides suggested a strategy to limit Louis's visibility further. Phrases such as "low visibility approach" and "limit press exposure" appearing in clinical language that alarmed some within the household. When the document surfaced publicly through a leak, global media reacted swiftly. The implication that the young prince was being managed as a liability rather than protected as a child sparked outrage. Prince William reportedly confronted senior aides directly, demanding clarity. Catherine's response was even more forceful. She is said to have described the tone of the memo as detached and unacceptable. Princess Anne intervened decisively. "You do not contain children," she reportedly stated. "You protect them." It marked a rare and powerful moment of unity among senior royals, placing a child's welfare unmistakably above institutional image. As speculation mounted outside palace walls, Buckingham Palace issued a formal statement that broke with traditional restraint. Prince Louis is currently receiving emotional recovery support under the care of professionals and his family. The words were striking in their honesty. For the first time in modern royal history, emotional vulnerability within a royal child was acknowledged publicly, not disguised, not diluted. Accompanying the statement was a brief personal note from Catherine. "He is strong but young, and we are learning to navigate this together as a family." The message resonated profoundly. Parents, educators, and mental health advocates responded with empathy. Social media filled with messages of solidarity, not criticism. What began as quiet concern evolved into a broader conversation about childhood, emotional resilience, and modern parenting, even within institutions as historic as the monarchy. For Prince Louis, this period became transformative. Where silence once prompted speculation, transparency fostered understanding. Where absence fueled rumor, honesty built connection. The monarchy, often perceived as rigid, demonstrated adaptability and humanity. A family chose vulnerability over appearance. A child was allowed to heal rather than perform. And in that decision, something quietly historic occurred. This chapter does not end with scandal or crisis. It ends with resilience, with growth, with a family united not by protocol but by care. A young boy rediscovered his confidence. A mother spoke with honesty. A father defended his child. And a centuries-old institution took a meaningful step toward compassion, proving that even beneath crowns and ceremony, the most important duty of all is love. You have not enough humanizer words left. Upgrade your surfer plan. If you appreciate royal coverage that goes beyond surface-level headlines, if you want context instead of chaos, clarity instead of speculation, and carefully researched insights instead of rumors, then this is exactly where you need to be. We don't chase drama. We break down real developments. We connect the dots behind the scenes. And in moments like this, when the monarchy is quietly evolving in ways that could shape its future for decades, staying informed truly matters. Prince Louis' story isn't just about one young royal. It's about modern parenting under pressure. It's about how a centuries-old institution adapts to emotional transparency. And it's about what this new generation of royals will represent moving forward. So if you want verified updates from trusted sources, deep analysis on royal decisions and strategy, clear breakdowns of palace statements, and the real meaning behind what the cameras don't show, make sure you subscribe right now and turn on notifications so you never miss an important update. Because the next public appearance, the next official statement, the next subtle shift in royal protocol could reveal far more than it seems. And when it happens, you'll want the full story, not just the headline. Stay informed, stay ahead, and stay with us as this historic chapter continues to unfold.